I've always been playing games and tabletop games like ever since I was a kid, and I even remember in like elementary school, all throughout middle school and high school, like making games with my friends and coming up with weird board games and just like cardboard prototypes, and most of them made no sense.
I've been playing games since I can remember. I can remember being 4 years old and playing Monopoly Junior and getting extremely angry and going to my room and kicking things.
Monopoly was my very first favorite tabletop game, mostly because I lost all of the time. Because I was the youngest in the family and I was just so striving to win just once. My little race car would just topple the competition, and it never happened because I was 7.
First game I can remember playing was The Game of Life. The gameplay was just okay, but what I really liked about it was you could come up with your own narrative, which kind of, I don't think that was part of the rules, but I always did. So I would make my tiny little game piece have awful things happen to it, my little piece would get divorced or get in fistfights with other characters.
My recent favorite game is probably Cosmic Encounter. The kind of experience that game gives you is totally unique.
One of my favorite games is Dixit. The rules are really simple and elegant, but you can sort of go anywhere in your mind.
I would say my favorite tabletop right now is Ascension. I just think it's such a beautiful game.
What I remember most recently playing in college especially was the game Gloom. And I love that you make terrible things happen, which really speaks to me.
The first serious board game I remember playing is probably Puerto Rico. I remember getting together with the Cards guys over break early in college and playing it, and I also vividly remember being incredibly pissed off by the end of that game.
I remember there were like 3 ways that game can end, and we added a 4th way, which is if someone gets so mad that they take a dump on the floor, the game's over. And then when we got really frustrated, we'd be like, guys, I am 1 second away from taking a dump on the floor and ending this thing.
Because I had never played a fancy board game before, there were all these pieces and all these rules. It took 40 minutes to explain it. I was so zoned out, I had a horrible time, and if there's one thing that experience taught me, it's that I am an idiot, because that's the best game I've ever played, probably.
I remember lying in bed and my mind was racing with just all the possibilities of the game, and what if I had done this strategy or that one. It was so amazing to me that you could have that kind of experience and have that kind of strategy with just like, wooden pieces and paper and boards and cards, and there's nothing special about it. I don't know, I've been hooked on board games ever since then, and I'm sort of chasing that feeling. Last year we went to GenCon, which is the largest tabletop gaming convention in the country, and it was sort of our first time going there. We were really surprised that the convention was just dominated largely by a very small number of these huge industry players. And we came up with this idea of a design contest where unpublished game designers could submit their games to a panel of industry experts, and then the best one would get published by us and have a presence at GenCon. So year after year, basically there would be this presence of these independent games and this kind of maker culture.
The tabletop design deathmatch is probably the greatest idea ever invented by the human mind.
To me, this is the most important question. I said, what's special about your game? And that's a question that indie video game designers ask each other all the time. Like I've been working on games and I had people say like, oh, so tell me what's special about this game. And it's like totally shattered me. Like I had nothing to say for it. We've been incredibly lucky with Cards Against Humanity to have received a lot of help and support from people in the industry. And we just want to give other people that same opportunity and pay that debt of gratitude forward to them. So the Tabletop Deathmatch contest is a small start, but it's the first step of something that we really believe in, and something we feel that creatively can be really good for the industry.
We appreciate how important it is to get a jump start when you have a good idea but you don't have the resources to see it through. That's what happened when we kickstarted about 2.5 years ago.
And somewhere in here, we've got to get this down to 16 finalists who will pitch their games to us at GenCon. And one of them, we're going to publish it. So we've got to find basically 16 games in this pile here where it will not be a disaster if we publish it.
I feel like getting a game published is not as important as that validation that this was a good idea. That you put in all this hard work and you put in all this time and you made your husband or your wife play so many times, and finally, like, other people are going to enjoy what you enjoyed.
This competition could definitely change the life of the person who gets their game made. I know when we got our game made, it changed our lives to an extent I never would have imagined 2 years ago.
We have found a lot of success in publishing a game in an unconventional way, and we want to help people who are like us to do that.
Everyone who's entered this competition has never been published before in any official capacity. They've never published a game, and we're doing it to give the little guy a chance.
Four suburban dads with anger management issues decide to do a bit of yard work.
Oh, that's amazing. That's actually incredible.
The best case scenario for me is finding a game that gives me a play experience I've never had.
I just want to see something entirely new that nobody has done before. I've been seeing just stuff that I could never even think of. Like, I want to read a game and be angry at the game for thinking of the idea before I did.
Have you ever wanted Commander LaForge to start giving Wesley Crusher a sensual body massage, and then Deanna Troi opens the door, wearing nothing but a genetically modified triple strap-on? That's hot, and I think, and it's got a paper prototype.
I just want to be surprised. I'm really excited to find a game that surprises and delights me.
I'm hoping to see amateur game designers sort of meet each other and see, what they're doing.
I'm just surprised at how many I like. I thought the bad ones would be a lot worse, and actually, like, I like something about almost all of them, so it's actually kind of hard.
They all show a lot of promise. I would really like to see, like, for example, a twist on an old theme. Like, everyone's familiar with the zombie theme or like medieval fantasy role-playing games. I think it would be really cool to take a twist on something that's familiar to us.
Okay, this one is incredible. I actually think we might have found a winner of the contest. This one is called Fart Party. So the game is you're at a bean eating contest with all the other players, and you're trying to eat the most number of beans, but the judges frown upon farting.
The competition will tell the finalists that they're made of the right stuff.